Hey everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. If you guys are surprised by the title of the video, so I'm not sure what I am going to say today on this video, but I want to go over a little bit with you guys from what has been going on. I stated in one of my videos that there's some stuff going on that we needed to figure out and see how it was gonna turn out, and this is it. So let me just tell you a little backstory first, and then I will go into other details of how I found out and what we're going to do and how this is going to change my channel. All right, so a little backstory. When I started trying to get pregnant with Evelyn, it was a little bit longer in between my pregnancies than with my other kids. So with my other kids, I'll just kind of start with Victoria. I'll go more in detail on other videos with my pregnancies and how my family started. If you guys have any questions about that, leave them in the comments down below, but otherwise I'll just do this like real short and quick, and then I'll get to what I want to talk about today. So I had my daughter Victoria when I was just about to turn 17, and then I had Blaine when I was 19. I met my husband, and then we started having children right away. So it was like 4 months after we were married, I found out I was pregnant with our first, and then it was like 18 months later I had Eli, and then it was a year later I had Hudson, and then a year later I had Miles, and then a year later I had Declan, and then a year later I had the twins. And then it wasn't until like maybe they're about a year and a half apart. So I shouldn't say exactly a year, but about a year and a half apart. And then it was a little bit longer before I started to try to get pregnant with Evelyn. We were not trying to have a girl. We weren't trying to have more to have a girl. If you guys are new to my channel, I have a girl and she is my oldest. I have 8 boys right in the middle, and then I have Evelyn being the girl at the end. So with her, we tried getting pregnant, and if you guys, some of the people that know me, like family and stuff like that, usually a lot of them tease about how anytime me and Lauren talk about getting pregnant, I get pregnant pretty easily. So when I wasn't getting pregnant with, at that time, it was probably like, I think 4 miscarriages, if you want to call them. So what that is, when you go through something like that, is at a certain age. So I had the twins at 39, had Evelyn about, I think it was like 42, but right before then I would get a positive pregnancy test, and then a couple days later I would start bleeding. And then it was the next month, same thing, I would get pregnant, and then I would start bleeding. So if a lot of you guys don't know anything with fertility, that is called a chemical pregnancy. It's where you take a pregnancy test, your HCG level gets high enough for you to be able to take a pregnancy test, but it's not strong enough to hold a pregnancy. So at my age, I had low egg count. I went in because I wanted to talk to my doctor about what's going on. You know, is it because of my age? What are the things that I need to look for? What are the things we need to change? I did get a blood test done, and it did state that I had low egg count at the age of 42. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you were blessed with how many kids, it shouldn't matter. And then, you know, but that wasn't my goal at that time, is to always have a large family or to be saddened if I couldn't have any more children. It was just a fact of, I like to know what's going on with my body. I like to know my cycle, and I keep track of that on a regular basis. So when it came back that I had low egg count, one of the things that you can look for with that is some might some months might be a little bit different, and things might change during your cycle and stuff like that for you to be able to get pregnant. So one of the things that my doctor mentioned was if I were to continue to try, one of the things was either I'm going to get pregnant and miscarry, or get pregnant and hold on to it. So we just kept trying, and it was about 4 months that I had a positive pregnancy, and then I had the chemical pregnancy and miscarried right after. So it wasn't until the 5th month of trying that I got a positive pregnancy test. My HCG levels were rising, and I went in and found out that my count was at a good count of holding the pregnancy. Now, I know there's always risk and stuff throughout your pregnancy where things can change and you can still miscarry. But for me, it was mainly getting to a certain point of if I was going to hold on to a pregnancy or not. And so it was more or less like 2 or 3 days after my missed period if I was going to hold on to a pregnancy or not. I know there's still risk, and age is part of that also. Okay, so that's just a little backstory of where that came from. Now, me and Lauren were content with our family having 10. We were not looking into having any more. We weren't even trying. It wasn't even a thing that me and him were going to be doing. All right, so last month, so we are in May right now. Last month, I missed my period. I took a pregnancy test, and it was positive. But then the next day I started bleeding. I had a couple pregnancy tests in that period of time, and they were all positive. I've tried different tests, and they were all a slight positive, like the line was just really faint. But I've looked at so many okay, so think of me being 17, just having a baby. My whole life, I'm 45 now, I've seen pregnancy tests. So I know what to look for and what is false and what is not false. So before anybody starts putting comments down there on what is a pregnancy and what isn't, I pretty much know. So I was kind of sad with that, knowing that I wasn't pregnant. Knowing that I could have been pregnant kind of sparked things up a little bit, and was kind of like, you know, I'm 45. What are the chances of me getting pregnant? I want to say that is enough. But when I had that little bit of glimpse of I was possibly pregnant, I got a little excited. So now, as in for this pregnancy right now, we still weren't like technically trying to get pregnant. I am really good at keeping track of my pregnancy or my cycle. If you guys want another video on that, I can go through all of my tracking and stuff if you're interested. I know I might have some guys that follow my channel and are not interested in this at all. I might just set up a day that I will just be strictly talking about my pregnancy, or even changing like tied it with my lifestyle on this channel. But then I will go off and do my own videos on another channel, and you guys can just follow along on whoever wants to follow that journey can, you know, head over to that channel. But I got to get that all figured out and set up yet. I am still okay. So now I just want to talk to you a little bit about how this pregnancy happened. Okay, so from last month with me tracking my cycle, I was a little off just because of going through losing that pregnancy. So for me to be able to track was a little off and a little different. I'm pretty typical with how I can keep track of things. So it happened to be that it was around ovulation time that I was able to get pregnant. I don't know the exact like timing of when all that is, just because everything was so weird and so off. Okay. So when I got to the point of wanting to take a pregnancy test, before the time was that I could, I get a lot of my tests on Amazon, and some of them are like 5 days sooner testing. The HCG is able to be detected sooner. which is kind of sad for some people that want a good solid line on their pregnancy test. And sometimes if you just wait it out a couple days after your missed period, you'll probably get a better outcome with that instead of being disappointed or go through a chemical pregnancy. Because you will get a positive pregnancy test, but then you also will miscarry, and when most women wouldn't even know that they were pregnant. They would have just assumed that it was their period. But because I'm so in tune with my cycle, I knew exactly when I could test. All right, so for this pregnancy, I wanted to test ahead of time, and I started testing, I think it was like 2 or 3 days before, and I got a positive on that test right away. I kept taking, I'm a major pregnancy tester. I'm not one that I can wait. I usually find out with all of my pregnancies what I'm having. My oldest daughter is the only one that I never found out what I was having. I am not good with surprises, and I'm just not good with that. So I started taking my pregnancy test really early, and then on the day of my period, I also took one, and then I also had my husband go get me a better pregnancy test, and that one came out pretty strong and positive right away. So I wanted this to be kind of like a surprise video for you guys. I wanted it to be something like where I could come out and be like, hey, I'm pregnant, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. But I can't believe it because we really weren't trying technically because of how my cycle was last month. So yeah, I'm kind of past that whole like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. I've had 10, so I don't know how I could be any more surprised. But hopefully you guys still enjoy this video. But to you guys, you'll still be surprised, right? Because I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are just gonna be like, oh no, Stephanie, you are having 11 children. Oh no. So, but that is okay. So I want to go over some of the pregnancy tests that I have. One of the ones that I have, like I said, I get from Amazon, and they're pretty accurate. I've never had a problem with them. But this is the one that Lauren brought home, and if you can see, you can see the positive. Okay, you can see the positive on there. And that was the one that was the day of my missed period. And then it wasn't until the next day, and I took another one, and it is, let's see. All right, if you can kind of see there. And this one from the dollar store is not sensitive, and I just took it today. So the line is not the best at all, but you can still see it there. So one of the things that you need to be careful with when you take stuff like, or take pregnancy tests like this, is knowing that whatever the test is, if your HCG level is at certain areas, some tests aren't going to be as strong to detect it. So with me having a lighter line on that test, I'm not overly concerned yet, but I do want to see my test progress and get darker. I am on day, I think it's May 27th, and my missed period was May 25th. So I'm only 2 days in on this. But we are praying that this baby is gonna make it. I still have a long road ahead with this pregnancy. I will be going in to the doctor maybe in the next like couple weeks or whatever to get my HCG test done. I'll just get a blood test done and see where my levels are, and if they're at a good amount, then I will feel comfortable enough to make more videos for you guys. So hopefully you guys are surprised and you like today's video. I'm not sure when I'm going to be putting this video out because none of my kids know it. My kids watch my videos. So there's a lot of TMI on this video, and I'm not sure I want any of them to listen to this right now. But all right, so I just went in to get some lab work done. I have Evelyn with me right now. I just called the clinic yesterday, so I am 5 weeks and I think it's like 4 days or 5 days, and we're just doing blood draw right now just to see where my my HCG levels are, like my pregnancy levels are. And then she also is going to check for progesterone because of my age, and to see. But I mean, I just had Evelyn 3 years ago, and I usually have a pregnancy like every other year. So unless something changed in that amount of time, that would be the difference. And then I'm also taking, she just told me to take baby aspirin. So I'm taking baby aspirin, and I will go through all of that maybe in this video. But I want to wait and see what my results are going to be. So I have to wait. So it is 3:30 is my appointment, is when I had to go in. And she's thinking that I should be able to get my, like all of that back today. So we don't know. Otherwise it's going to be tomorrow. So maybe I'll just do it all in one day and just give you all that information. But I am going to go over, like, should I keep everything on this channel with all my pregnancy updates, or should I just do another channel just on my pregnancy? Because I know a lot of you guys are coming to my channel for like air fryer videos and grocery hauls and, you know, what I do on a daily. And I will tie in a lot of what I am going through and stuff. But she's just scooping off right now while I'm sitting here. So I can't say everything at home right now because of the kids not knowing yet that I am pregnant. But yep. So what I'm planning on doing is this Sunday is Miles's birthday. Yep, just wait. This Sunday is Miles's birthday, and we need to do an intro for my channel because I haven't done like I want to do like a good intro, and my son's girlfriend is gonna do it for us. She'll be in part of it also, but I want her to help with that, and then we're going to do our family photo. So I'll have a video on that, and this video actually is going to come after that video, just because of how much I have to, just wait. So just because of how much I have to kind of hush. So what I'm thinking of doing is, we're going to do like the photo shoot and the intro, or do the intro first and then do the photo shoot, and then I will have Megan say, you know, like, hey, everybody say this, or hey, everybody say, you know, maybe 10 kids in the garage or something like that. But then she'll say mom's pregnant, and then everybody has to say mom's pregnant. So we're probably going to surprise them that way. I am really, really early, so if something were to happen and the pregnancy ends up not, you know, making it or whatever, then we'll go from there. But so far everything seems to be okay, and I know that can be with any time, that anything can be different, but this is the way that I can at least tell them for right now, and then I can try not to like keep everything a secret, because I have too many family members that I need to, like, I'm gonna tell. And if I tell them, then yeah, if you could come up here, if I tell some of my family members, it's gonna go through the family really fast. So I can't, yeah. So when I start telling people is when I'll start putting out these videos, so you guys will they'll already know, my family will already know. Okay, come on, we gotta go. So, shh, no, over here. Shh. Okay, so, yeah, I have to do it in a way where nobody finds out. My older two know already, but the little ones at home don't know. And it's okay. I was gonna wait until everything was like clear, but I think as of today, when I get all my lab works in and stuff like that and find out where my count is, maybe that'll determine like what I will say, what I will share with them, and maybe things will change and I won't be sharing anything. I don't know, but so far we are doing good with everything. And then so there's some other stuff with this pregnancy too, like what doctor will I see? When I called, they actually kind of laughed at me. One of the nurses was really cute, and she was like, are you just gonna have a home birth? And I've never had a home birth, and I don't want to go into all of that on here, but I will go through that individual videos, and I will pick, like, if I keep this on the channel, I will go through, or I'll tell you guys what day I will do my pregnancy updates, because then you guys will know, and then you know what days that you would want to watch it or whatever, if that makes it easier for me to do it for you guys that way, instead of like you having to go to a different channel or whatever. But just because this being my 11th child, I don't know if I should just keep it here and just keep it regular, because I don't know how much I'll like update everything. But I will take you along with most of it, and maybe some of my appointments, my ultrasounds, finding out, gender reveal, sharing with the kids what I'm having. I'm not going to keep anything a secret to myself this time. Evelyn was a secret for a period of time, not knowing if she was going to be a girl, and I already updated that. I already updated that in the video after, or it was her like progression video pictures and stuff like that. So that was around her birthday, and I'll put a link up above and you guys can go check that out. But and then I showed my gender reveal with my older kids on that one. So this time I'm gonna find out what I'm having, or Lauren will find out and do a reveal with him. I don't know what we're gonna do, but you guys will come along and follow along. So I will come back on today with my lab works. Okay, so I'm in the car right now. Sorry for all the noise. I'm just turned on the air conditioning because it's hot in here. Okay, I look like a mess, but whatever. So, a little update from last time I went to labs, and I got my results in the app, and they said that my HCG levels were at like 350 something, or 335, or I don't remember, something like that, 355. And then my progesterone and everything was fine. So she didn't really want to recheck that, but she wanted to recheck the HCG levels today, that was last week on a Wednesday. I could have went in on a Friday to have them done, which would be 48 hours. And that's usually how they check to see if your HCG is rising. But I went in today, which is Monday. So within the next couple hours, I'll probably get an update on my app to see if it needs to be in the upper thousands today for us to know for sure how things are going. Like if everything looks good at this point. With my age and everything, I'm not sure, but with me having Evelyn just a little while ago, I'm not like overly concerned or anything like that. It's just the unknown if everything is good. So I just have to wait for that result to come in, and then I can share all that with you guys. So we are hoping that everything is okay. One of the things that I like though is I don't know, now I don't have to wait like to call them or wait for my results, because I can just go on the app, or they send me an email stating that I have more information on the app for me to check out, and then I'll be able to know my count. And if my count isn't where it needs to be, then I can give her a call and pretty much discuss things, what's going on or whatever. But if they're in the upper thousands today, then I think everything should be okay as where I am. So according to my charting, I should be 6 weeks. But then I'll go in for an ultrasound, and then that'll actually determine when exactly or how far along I am. So just wanted to give you that little quick update. We did share the information with the kids, so the kids know everything now. But now it's just kind of like the wait to see how this pregnancy is going so far. So, but I will come back on and share what I find out in a little while. Okay, so I'm going to tie in a bunch of stuff with this video, and I didn't really need to share anything on my channel about this or anything like that, but I kind of want to share in case some other people are going through it. So I have in the beginning, or I'm not sure how I'm gonna all piece this video together, but I want to share with you guys what I kind of was going through. So initially I kind of went through, you know, just starting out with pregnancy tests and stuff, finding out that I was pregnant. And then I really wasn't going to call my doctor until I was further along, because I usually don't need like any like medical care or anything like that with my pregnancies and stuff like that. So I really wasn't concerned in any way that, you know, that anything would be an issue. So what happened was I ended up calling my OB doctor and setting up things to let her know that I'm pregnant, and then also to find a different OB because she wasn't taking pregnancy patients and stuff like that. So I didn't kind of know where I was going to go with this yet. So I ended up calling anyways, and then we had lab works done, and you'll see in somewhere in this video what all that means and where my counts were each time that I went in. And then when I first initially had my first count, it was so low that it didn't look good at all from the beginning. Even though my pregnancy tests were showing that I was pregnant, it still was, my HCG levels weren't rising, nothing was making sense, and I had no cramping, no bleeding, or anything like that. So I just kind of went on. Also will put in this video me telling the kids that I'm pregnant. It was part of our photo shoot. I ended up leaving that part out when I showed you guys my new intro, just because it was supposed to be something that was going to be joyful and turned out not to be what we thought it was going to be. So I will make this video kind of make sense in some ways, but also, I ended up going in a couple more times. I went into the emergency room when I found out that my counts weren't doubling, and I had some neck and shoulder pain, and one of the signs of an ectopic pregnancy was shoulder pain and neck pain. So I went in, and because my counts were so low, they didn't think that they could see anything on the ultrasound anyways. One of the things that we talked about was she questioned if I had a left ovary, and I was like, as what I know, I do, you know. So it was all like weird things, and they couldn't find the pregnancy, but my counts were slowly rising, so more or less pointing towards miscarriage or an ectopic pregnancy. But when they did the ultrasound, they really couldn't tell, so I was still kind of in the waiting game. I just got a message this morning from my OB doctor on my Live Well app stating that the pregnancy won't go through. That's not a viable pregnancy, and that I will need to have some stuff done to make sure that everything is okay. So if anybody knows, for the people that know me, I don't really want to do anything without it being more or less like a natural thing, for it to happen naturally, and it wasn't looking like that was going to happen. So that's as of today. I go in tomorrow and get more lab works done. I get an ultrasound done, and then I have to talk to my doctor to see what the next steps are. And one of the next steps I'm not excited to do, because the pregnancy is some kind of somewhere in my body, but not a lot like a viable pregnancy, so it's not going to continue anyways. And if it does, it can cause extra issues in my body. And for me, being 45 years old, you know, with my family being complete, Now it's just waiting. I'm gonna try to make this video just one video, and then just update you guys later on how I'm doing after we find out what the procedure will be and stuff like that. But some videos might not go out just because I'm trying to figure this all out. I think we are at a stage in me and Lauren's life, like, okay, we have 10 kids, we're good, you know, like, it would have been a blessing if I was, but God has other plans. So now it's just kind of like waiting it out and seeing. So just want to share that quick with you guys. Okay, so it is the next couple days from the last time that I was on to explain everything that was going on. So it was like just yesterday. It was just yesterday that I found out that pretty much the pregnancy wasn't gonna last, and I started bleeding and everything yesterday, and everything was okay and everything, and not okay, but as in that was kind of like a sign now that I knew for sure, because we were still kind of not quite knowing what was going on. So I called the doctor, and I ended up not having to go in yesterday, or not yesterday, but the day before. So it was like a Friday, and I didn't need to go in because we knew things were happening, and then I had to wait till Monday to get my HCG levels checked to see if anything, if they were going down. And I had some like chills and some just kind of like tired and stuff. So I didn't think anything of it. Everything was fine. And then I've gone through other miscarriages before, so I kind of knew what to expect and what not to expect, or, you know, like symptoms and stuff. So the rest of the day went on and everything. I was able to do things. I wasn't having like cramps or pains. And then it was that night that I started having more chills. And I went to bed. And then the next morning I woke up and I got really sick, really dizzy, really nauseous. Couldn't get out of bed. I was just like kind of out of it a little bit. So then I had, my chills were worse. And I'm usually a cold, like I get cold really easy anyways. But we didn't really have the air conditioning in the area that I was at. So I was kind of like, you know, I don't know, like it was just not because of the air conditioning that I had chills and stuff. So I'm recording this now because my kids aren't here, so I kind of just got out of the shower. Lauren has the kids at church and stuff, so I'm able to talk. But so I couldn't get up, and I knew Lauren was going to go to work. I was supposed to work that day. That was yesterday, Saturday. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to go to work, so I kind of let my boss know already that I wasn't going to be able to come in, because I knew already that I didn't quite know yet when I told her what was going to go on. So I told Lauren that I needed him to bring me in because I knew there was something wrong. So he took me into the emergency room. My sister-in-law came and helped with the kids for a little bit, and then they kind of went over some of the stuff that I was going through, or symptoms and stuff. They gave me like, I don't know, warm blankets and different things. And then I got an IV because I got fluids. And then they also checked all my blood counts and everything and my HCG levels. And so we had to wait for that. And then she came in, she talked to me about like different procedures and things that I could have done if I needed things done. And I'm kind of more like, let my body just do what it needs to do, but I still needed to know what was going on, if I was going through an ectopic pregnancy or there was other complications. So she started pushing on my stomach, and I kind of reacted to one of the areas. But I have like the worst bladder in the world, and I think I just had like a full bladder, and she just pushed in the wrong spot. So she wanted to get a CT scan done. So I ended up getting a CT scan, had to wait about an hour to get results and everything. So I'm kind of giving you like a fast version. Lauren was there with me. He ended up leaving to go home by the kids. And then she came back in and let me know that everything was good with my blood count. I didn't have like septic or like an infection or anything like that. So all my blood count was good. My HCG levels were going down. And that kind of let us know that everything was doing what it was supposed to do naturally, because my HCG levels were going up before, but not the way they were supposed to. And so we kind of knew everything was bad from the beginning. So I would have been 7 weeks. That's where I would be at right now. And then, but my levels were like in the 400s and they should have been like thousands. And she also said that I had blood in my urine, and it looked like on the scan that I possibly passed a kidney stone, and maybe that was my issue with the chills and stuff. So everything at one time kind of was happening. But that's all I know from right now. So that's kind of like my update with this pregnancy and what I am going through with that. So, you know, now it's more like, okay, you know, my age is kind of where we're kind of like, okay, do you keep trying and knowing that this could be an all the time thing now because I'm 45 and pregnancy and my body just are not going together? So these are kind of things that me and Lauren got to discuss on, you know, do you want to keep going through something like this? And I understand, like, people will be like, well, you're totally blessed with what you have, and we are totally blessed with having 10 kids, and it's usually really easy for me to get pregnant. I don't usually have any complications or anything with any of my pregnancies, so we are pretty lucky. But the fact that this kind of timing is like, you know, I can't like wait how many more years. Me and Lauren are at that age where like we're getting to be too old to keep having children. So that's kind of where we're at right now, and a little update on what's going on right now. So yeah, that's what I needed to share with everybody and let you guys know. I was trying to still keep up with videos and stuff and putting them out for you guys because I had them recorded already. But that's about it. So I just wanted to give you that update.